Welcome to another week of What's for Dinner. We are going to start this one off on family night. So I'm going to show you how I took some help from the grocery store this night. I bought these take and bake pizzas from Aldi. These were $4.49 each, a 16-inch loaded with cheese. I decided to pick these up at the grocery store and take a little help that night because I knew I was going to have a busy day. Let me show you what we did to transform these pizzas. When my daughter-in-law Hope and our son Riley and Courage got here, she just jumped right in and helped me out with these pizzas. So like I said, the cheese pizzas look so good. The price was so good. I decided to just get those and add my own toppings to them. So I fried up one roll of breakfast sausage. I already had pepperoni. I already was buying that day the salami, and so I just knew that we could just top these. The cheese would have been great, but we like toppings, so I knew I could top these with things that I had. And I opened up this jar of banana peppers, and you can see Courage stealing some sausage there. He loved it so much. But we just decided to top these things ourselves and bake them at home ourselves. I'm telling you what, they were delicious. This was my first time to buy these pizzas from Aldi. They are well worth the money. They were so good. We were very impressed with them, and that made for a quick main dish for family night. Earlier in the day, I put together this big bowl of salad. It has all kinds of good things in it. I've got some spring mix, some iceberg, some baby kale, cucumbers, a orange pepper, cherry tomatoes, a whole container of feta cheese. Of course, you can see here I've got some delicious hard-boiled eggs on the top. There's some green onions and regular onion in there. I think there's even celery. It was packed full of all kinds of yummy things, and then I made some homemade ranch dressing to go along with the salad. I also put together just a little fruit salad with some fresh strawberries, some grapes. They were so big, some of them I had to cut into thirds. I put some blackberries and some raspberries in there, and then right before it was time for dinner, I added in a couple sliced bananas. So we had some yummy fruit to go alongside, and that was delicious. All the little boys especially love fruit, and Courage most of all. The boy can put away some fruit, so I always like to have some fruit ready for him. And here's a look at the spread. The pizzas, I can't say enough about how delicious those were. I also boiled up a whole box of cavatappi and put in a jar of Classico Alfredo sauce and some fresh Parmesan. That was a delicious thing to go along with this. Of course, the salad just hit the spot. This was all so good. I can't recommend these pizzas enough. For dessert, we also had some help from the store, also from Aldi. I bought these macarons. They were so delicious. First time for me to buy them, first time for me to actually ever even have them. So those were a big hit. Sadly, I didn't get clips of the second dessert, but it was the chocolate lava cake that you can buy frozen from Aldi. You do those in the microwave for just a few seconds, like 30 seconds. They are so good. So we really enjoyed all of this, and this was an easier night for me. I was on a busy day, and all of these helps from the grocery store just made it a little bit of an easier night, and boy, it was all so good. If you're looking for dinner that you can get on the table pretty quickly, this one would definitely fit into that category. I bought these from Costco. It's the first time for me to buy those. I've heard great things about them. And it cooks in 2 minutes. I mean, you can't get much quicker than that. So, like I said, I bought those at Costco. I had this pasta sauce already in my pantry. So I'm going to put together a cheesy baked tortelloni tonight with these ingredients. I also had some of these mushrooms from Trader Joe's, these sliced baby bellas, so I knew that would be a great thing to add in. I am doing this meatless, so I knew this would be good to add in. So I used about half of the package there. I'm just going to saute these up, and then I'm going to add those in with this meal, and those baby bellas are so flavorful. All right, I'm going to go ahead and work on some garlic bread. So I have these buns left over, and this is a great way to be able to use leftover bread is to turn it into garlic bread. So I decided to do cheesy garlic bread tonight, actually. So I got these in my little baking pan here, my little pie pan. I'm just going to spread butter on each of these. I'm going to go in with some garlic salt and some Italian seasoning. I'm going to bake those first like that. And then in a minute, I'm going to shred up some cheese and put on the top and put it back in just enough to get that cheese melted on the top, and that's going to be great along with this, and of course very quick. So here's the tortelloni. I've got my water boiling. I'm going to put in, I split that package in half. That's the way it's meant to be. You know, you can cut it down the center and have two different meals from that. And actually I should have only used half of one of those because it cooked up to be quite a bit. Of course we are fine with having leftovers, and we did. All right, now I'm going to move on to shredding my cheese. I got this little handy dandy cheese shredder grater. It is so good to use. I'm really enjoying that. I bought several as Christmas gifts this year. For my daughters-in-law, I got one for my mother-in-law, and we just are all really loving it. So you could see how quick it made getting this cheese all shredded up, and of course it just melts so well when you're cutting it from the block that way or shredding it from the block. It just melts perfectly. So back in with these buns. I'm getting a good amount of cheese on there. I'm going to get those in the oven. And of course that tortelloni, cooks in 2 minutes. So you can see that was super quick. So in with the mushrooms, in with the sauce. I'm going to get this into a baking dish, top it with some cheese, and stick it in the oven. This was so hearty and delicious. A little bit of inspiration from one of our very favorite Italian restaurants around here. It is not a chain, and it's been around for a long time, and it's called Vito Provolone's. We love it, and they have a baked tortellini or tortelloni that's on their menu that is really good. It's served in like little individual dishes, and so this is kind of inspired by that. And we really love this. I will definitely buy these again from Costco.
Whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there.
Look at how this cheese melted just so perfectly over the top of this. Like I said, this was really good, very quick and hearty. We did not miss meat in this dish whatsoever. It was very filling. So, yep, this was a winner and a quick one to get on the table. And we just really enjoyed this night. All right, moving on to another night's dinner. I am taking the broccoli in this bag that's already cut for me. James actually picked this up at Trader Joe's, and I am going to roast it in the oven. We got on such a big kick of doing this for a long time, and then we quit, and I haven't made this like this in the oven in a really long time. So basically, you just want to get your broccoli on your baking sheet. I've got part parchment, part foil, because I ran out of the parchment paper. You just go in with your olive oil, coat it really well. Meanwhile, I am also sauteing up the rest of those mushrooms that I had showed that in the previous clip, and I'm just getting those sauteed up with some diced onion back in this pan. So back to my broccoli. Once you get it coated pretty well with your olive oil, you just go in with whatever seasonings you like. I'm going in with garlic powder and some pepper and a little bit of salt. And once you get this seasoned up, it just bakes in the oven, and it can get so crisp and delicious from baking in the oven. And then I like to hit it with a little Parmesan cheese, sometimes some lemon juice for some additional flavor, and it is really delicious. I've heard people say that don't like broccoli, they actually like it this way. Now that my mushrooms and onions have sauteed up and wilted down a little bit, I'm ready to move on to making some fried rice. I had some cold rice left over already in the refrigerator, so I thought this would be the perfect addition to go with this meal as a really yummy side. So cold rice makes the best fried rice. It's not sticky or goopy. Once it's cold like that, it just fries up so much better. So I'm just going to work on getting this incorporated in. And this was a very simple fried rice. I didn't add a bunch of extras to it. I already am having my broccoli as a side. So I just made this really a simple rice with the onions, the mushrooms, some sesame oil, a little bit of some dry seasoning, and it was quick and easy. Now it's time to get the salmon on the baking sheet here. This was a really, really delicious salmon, very good. So I just basically took my foil and kind of made a little, little boat of sorts, I guess, on the other side, kind of folded it up to where the salmon would be fitting into that part of the foil without anything getting over in with the broccoli. I also chose to go really simple with the salmon seasoning. So I'm just using some Lowry seasoning salt, garlic powder, and pepper. And then I just went in with some olive oil, put some olive oil on the top, and all of this baked in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. It came out perfect, the broccoli and the salmon. Again, the salmon was really, really good. It had just a great simple flavor without so much seasoning on there. You just really got to enjoy the flavor of the salmon. So this was really good. We hadn't had any fish or anything like this in quite a while. The side of the fried rice, that was the perfect accompaniment. That was also really, really delicious. All in all, this was so tasty and it was very quick to get on the table. All right, for this next meal, if you remember back a couple weeks ago, I showed you this recipe, the easy turkey pot pie on the back of the stovetop stuffing box. Well, I decided I'm going to go ahead and go for that. I had some turkey breast in my freezer. That was from the turkey breast that James picked up at Kroger. I was talking about in that video. I also had some gravy left in my freezer from Thanksgiving actually. And then it called for a bag of frozen mixed vegetables. I think it called for maybe a California blend or broccoli, carrots, something along that line. I decided to go for just this regular mixed vegetable blend. So all you need to do for this, according to these box directions, is put together the stovetop dressing, stovetop stuffing, according to the box directions, and set that to the side. Then you just take your turkey, your gravy, and your mixed vegetables and mix those together. Those go in your baking dish and you top it with the stovetop stuffing. Very, very easy. Now, I would definitely not really call this a pot pie. It's more just like a turkey and stuffing bake or a casserole of sorts, but it was very good. The only thing I would do differently if I made this again, I just felt like the vegetables just didn't get as done or as cooked as thoroughly as I would have liked by baking them in the oven. It just didn't feel like it got as done as I wanted. So maybe I would consider just cooking these on the stovetop, then maybe adding them in or increasing the bake time. But the problem with that, then your dressing just continues to bake and dries out. Your gravy, could dry out. So I don't know. It was fine, but I just think I would prefer the veggies a little more well done. That could be a personal preference, but this was very quick and easy to put together, and it's definitely worth trying. The last meal I'm going to show you today, this was actually grocery day, and I picked up these fresh ingredients to make a sub sandwich. I was wanting a sub sandwich, maybe Subway, something like that. And I thought, you know what, let's just have that for a quick and easy dinner tonight. So this Italian trio, I bought this once before, and I actually made Italian sliders with this back in December for a Christmas gathering. And I really enjoyed this combination of the hot ham, the pepperoni, and the provolone cheese. So I picked that up today at Aldi for my sub sandwiches. So you can see here how yummy and delicious this meat looks. And it's just a perfect combo to buy already packaged that way, just to build a sub sandwich or sliders or whatever you want to make with that. So I am doing the sub sandwiches. I actually went ahead and finally shredded some lettuce. I cut up some onion and I got out some baby kale. Those things are ready to go on the sandwiches. I'm just going to split my provolone cheese here. After I tore one in half and made a mess of it, I decided, okay, cut that in half with the knife. So it really doesn't matter. It goes down the same way, right? But anyhow, so I'm making a couple of these sandwiches. I'm putting cheese on both sides. I'm just going to go in and put on the meat. And I actually decided to go ahead and add on some salami. I also purchased that the same day at Aldi. So I wanted to have plenty of meat on these sub sandwiches. So I'm going to go in with the salami next. And then I am going to put these in my air fryer, kind of like at Subway when they toast the subs, kind of what I'm going for here. So I will put these in my air fryer and then we will add on the toppings.
From the east to the west, with the heart of gratefulness, lift up your voice and sing, lift up a shout of praise. Oh, there's only one name. We lift up a shout, we lift up a shout. Oh, together we sing, we lift up a shout, we lift up a shout of praise.
I am a sandwich fan, so this was just making my stomach growl, just getting these prepared. I was so excited for these, and let me just tell you, here is where the magic happened. I decided to wrap these. I made these a little bit earlier than we were going to eat, so I decided to wrap these up in saran wrap and just let them sit on the counter. We had about maybe a half an hour until we ate, and that was the trick. These just got even better sitting there. The bread was getting soft. Oh my goodness, it was so delicious. I just served these with some Aldi copycat Funyuns. It was amazing, better than getting one at Subway. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video and maybe got some inspiration for things you can add on to your dinner plan for this upcoming week. Thank you always for coming back to my channel. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't. I post new What's for Dinner videos every Sunday, and I usually have a grocery haul out on Friday. All right, guys, see you the next time. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.